So it looks like the PS4 is entering the final phase of its lifespan. At least that's what Sony's telling us. So what exactly could this mean for big games like Minecraft and Fortnite? And what could this mean for Xbox? Because the Xbox is essentially the same age as the PlayStation. In fact, the Xbox One released a couple weeks after the PS4. So could the Xbox also be planning their next generation of console? Well, today we're going to be talking about the PS5 as well as the next Xbox in today's video. It's going to be really interesting, and I have a really cool article to share with you guys as well. And if you do enjoy today's video, go ahead and ninja kick that like button for me. It'd be a huge help. Like, the channel's blowing up. It's doing great lately. 100,000 subscribers is on the way. And don't forget the hashtag Stealth Army, because you already know we out here replying to every single subscriber in today's video. So I will have a link to this article in the description for you guys. It's a really interesting read, but I'll read some of the important segments of this article. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this video with the first paragraph. Today, during Sony's corporate strategy meeting, PlayStation boss John Kodera said that PlayStation 4 is entering the end of its life cycle. While this could have a negative impact on Sony's gaming division overall, it probably won't, because revenue from the subscription services such as PlayStation Plus may help offset any decline in hardware sales. Wall Street Journal reporter Takashi Mochizuki quoted Kodera as saying, "Importantly, Sony is not discontinuing the PlayStation 4 now or anytime soon. Of course, the system is expected to continue to sell well as new exclusive games for it like The Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man, and others come out." As some further important context, Kodera was talking to investors and analysts about the health and viability of the PS4 as a platform. Earlier this year, Sony said it expected to sell 16 million PS4s during the year, compared to 19 million during the year prior. So Kodera was more than likely attempting to contextualize and explain the downturn in sales and what that all means. And the wording about the PS4 entering the end of its life cycle may mean the system still has many years left of viability, only that the console is not rising as fast as it once did as it relates to sales. And of course, that is expected given the system was released almost half a decade ago. The PS4 launched in November 2013, so it makes sense that the console would be entering the final stages of its life cycle, now given historical trends of consoles. The system has sold more than 79 million units by Sony's latest count, which puts it just below the PS3, which reached 80 million units in 2013. So I will have the rest of the article in the description as well as a link. It's a really cool read, but it's a long read, so if you guys want to see every single detail, I will have it down below. But essentially what they're saying is that the sales are declining for the PS4 slightly, not substantially, but enough for, Sony to talk to investors about what's going on with Sony, because they have to, right? And essentially what they're saying is that they're getting ready for the PS5. Like, the PS4 is ending the end of its life cycle. As it gets older, people don't buy it as much and sales go down. And their main point here is that they're starting to prepare for the PlayStation 5, which makes sense because, if I'm not mistaken, Sony said that the PS3 would be the last decade system, meaning that they're no longer going to do a 10-year console. I think they're done with that, and the PS4 is not going to reach 10 years. I'm not sure when the PS5 will come out. I don't think we have enough details to speculate on that yet, but we can pretty much confirm from this article that the PS5 is in the early stages of production, which is really exciting because that means there's more than likely a prototype of the PS5 somewhere. They have a good idea of the design, the software, and the engine it's going to use. But let's not forget, like, development takes a long time. Just trying to manufacture and produce a console from scratch to it being on the shelf can take anywhere from 5 to probably 20 years of just hard work and engineering. So this is a long process, but it looks like Sony's rushing to stay ahead of the game, and it's more than likely a race against Microsoft, which you guys already know, like, Microsoft is cooking something as well. They're definitely working on their next Xbox. They wouldn't just be chilling for 5 to 6 years on the Xbox One and just let Sony gain so much momentum in the console war, because there is a war between Microsoft and Sony. If we choose to believe it or not, there's always been a slight war between them, and I honestly think it's not a bad thing. Competition is always healthy, even between companies. Like, it's always good for the consumers because we get a better product, we get a cheaper price, and I think that's great. So I'm not really complaining about that, and I'm really eager to see what the new PS5 and the Xbox 2 will be like. But let's go ahead and move on to the video games and what this could mean for big video games like Fortnite and Minecraft and Call of Duty. Like, there's some games out there that have such a huge following that pull so much weight in the industry that Sony and Microsoft usually involve them in the process for developing these consoles. They like to get their insight on the engine and the performance and what they would expect out of a console, and this usually leads to leaks. Like, this is usually how we get our leaks, is from these developers getting their hands on early prototypes of the PS5 and the Xbox 2. And who knows, we might be able to see our first leak of the next consoles within the next year. And I know that seems far away, but it honestly isn't in terms of development. I would imagine next summer we'll probably have our first actual leak from a game developer or a studio that has, you know, the PlayStation 5 or a prototype of it, as well as the Xbox. And I think that's going to be really interesting just to see what it's capable of, if it's going to be backwards compatible. And let's not forget VR. VR is going to be a huge part of the gaming industry in the future once it's more affordable, because right now it's still pretty expensive. But clearly, this is a huge investment that I think Sony and Microsoft are looking heavily into right now. And just to see if it's viable and if it's something that they can make a part of the systems, I'm going to be intrigued to see how they pull that off and still keep the price low enough where people are interested in the PS5 and the Xbox 2. But let me know what your thoughts are on the next gen. Do you think this is too soon? Do you think they should wait another 5 to 10 years before introducing a new console? Or do you think it's about time? But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down below in the comment section if you're Team Microsoft or if you're Team Sony or Team Nintendo as well, because Nintendo needs some love. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Crush the like button, and I'll see you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.